The following show is for entertainment purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Empire Media LLC, its subsidiaries, affiliates, sponsors, and advertisers.
All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Motor City Uncut, episode 137, presented by the Major Sports Network. And if we sound slightly different, it's because we got new microphones.
Woo!
Yeah. So if you're listening live here, so they're picking up a little bit more. I mean, we have an air conditioner running in here, and if we don't, we die. But in post, you probably won't hear that. So if you're listening live, bear with us. But if you're hitting us up on the recording, you won't know the difference. You'll just hear a marked increase in sound quality. Yeah, cool. We like them. We don't have to hunch over as much anymore, which is great.
Do one thing and then like go the other and then like, oh yeah. No, hold on a sec. Hold on. Let me check that. Okay, hold on.
Oh wait, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, it looks good. Go ahead.
All right. So with that being said, we're just going to get right into it tonight. Here on episode, like I said, 137 on May 15th, 2017. We were off last week because Shawn and I both weren't available.
Yeah.
Because baseball, hooray. All right, with that being said, the Detroit Tigers, in the meantime, have made a change in the closer position. And I'm gonna float the question out here. Is the bullpen now fixed using the addition by subtraction method? Justin Wilson has been lights fucking out in the ninth inning since taking it over, as just continuing his work that he was doing earlier in the year in the eighth. Are we comfortable, guys, going forward with the 7th-8th combo being a combination of Shane Green, Blaine Hardy, and Alex Wilson? And are you confident Justin Wilson will continue to get the job done in the ninth inning going forward?
The only one I'm confident in is Justin Wilson. I'm confident that he could maintain what he's doing in that role, and he's going to be successful going forward. I'm not confident, however, in everybody else besides him. I'm not comfortable in Blaine Hardy. I'm not comfortable in Shane Green. Not over the course of an entire season. I'm just
not going to have it, eh?
No, I'm not. Until they can prove a sustainable amount of time in those roles, or they can prove, over the course of a sustainable amount of time in those roles, then that's something that will change my mind. But until then, I don't think really anything is fixed with this bullpen. I think you fixed the closer spot, but when you take Justin Wilson out from his previous role, I think that's where the new question lies.
So, with that being said, Shawn, let me, before I interject, go ahead and give me your opinion on the subject.
My opinion is exactly the same as what Adam basically just said. Obviously, Justin Wilson's looking great so far as our closer, but what are we going to do to replace him? That's what I'm like. I don't have, the faith like, some people may do having Blaine Hardy as our lefty go-to guy in the 7th or 8th or, that Justin Wilson was doing. I never had any confidence with Shane Green yet. And Alex Wilson is just, he's so inconsistent, in my opinion, that, I don't think it's fixed. There's no fixing that bad of a situation, just like moving, K-Rod out of the closing spot and put Justin Wilson there, because K-Rod's still going to do the same thing they did while I was closing and throwing 88-mile-an-hour fastballs right down the middle of the plate and get rocked.
Okay. I'm going to throw some math at you here, do some numbers on it. Out of those four guys, so you got Wilson, Hardy, Green, and other Wilson, what is their combined, if you had to guess, without looking, what is their combined ERA?
You said Alex Wilson, Shane Green, and Blaine Hardy?
And Justin Wilson. What is their combined ERA this season?
Their combined ERA this season, right now, I would probably say 3.15.
Okay. Adam, what's your guess without looking?
3.15.
198.
But thing is, you got to look at it.
Are you sure that you're not comfortable? 198. Out
Dude,
out of your back four.
we're in mid-May right now.
Okay.
And when you're in mid-May,
Give me a second. I can tell you that their whip is like 0.7.
okay, great.
But the thing is, look at how many runs they've given up compared to the earned runs.
The only guy has given up any earned runs is Alex Wilson.
Look, that's fine for right now. My question is, what is this bullpen going to be when June comes around?
June comes around, and
or July comes around. I'm not excited about. I mean, getting excited about something like that is like Michigan fan getting excited about Denard Robinson in September winning the Heisman Trophy.
The September Heisman.
I mean, I just can't do it right now. I cannot pin my hopes for this team on guys like Shane Green and Blaine Hardy. And
I feel the exact same way.
And Josh Wilson.
And you know what? You're right. To a certain extent, especially with Shane Green, the eye test isn't great because there's 9 walks there in 15 2/3. However, his last 7 appearances have been fucking lights out. Justin Wilson just been throwing it right through people. 26 strikeouts in 15 2/3. It's pretty good. Alex Wilson's actually been pretty damn good here as well of late. And Blaine Hardy's been nothing but spectacular since his recall from AAA. Now, you still have, you generally speaking, the Tigers will carry an 8-man bullpen. You still have 2 gas cans that the Tigers seem unwilling to get rid of, and kind of, going into our next topic here on the subject, was essentially the fuck it, let's let him sink or swim move on the West Coast road trip by Brian Ausmus, kind of letting K-Rod fail in back-to-back nights, and at the same time putting Anibal Sanchez in still a close game where they were trailing, they were down 3 at the time, to get blown up. Is that kind of hit a power play against the front office saying, these guys have nothing left, I have no use for them anymore, get rid of them?
I was going to, that's something that I've talked about with some other people, as far as continuing to trot out guys, like a K-Rod or an Anibal Sanchez.
And to be fair, since K-Rod's been removed, he's got an 8 2/3 scoreless too.
Yeah, and I think it's something that, look, I'm no fan of
low leverage innings.
I'm no fan of Brett Ausmus, but you have to see what you have in these guys, and when you're going to do that, how you're going to do that is putting them out there early on in the season, so there's time to address the situation. And they did. He did. He put him out there. It was.
You let him get bombed.
Yep, it was a sink or swim situation, and look, he sunk, and he was taken out. I don't think that there's any. I don't really think you could fault Brett. There's plenty that you can fault Brett Ausmus for. I don't think putting K-Rod in those situations or Anibal in those situations are reasons to.
And K-Rod, you can't really be terribly mad about that. The dude was your closer at the time. And you know what? Less than 3 run game, 9th inning, he's going to get that call until he's removed from that role. Unless, of course, he's pitched 3 out of 4 days or something like that.
Sure.
And you know what? He's no longer in the closer's role because he obviously can't handle it. And with that being said, they've now made the move. And can this isn't on the rundown here, but can K-Rod still be a useful, and I'm not going to say valuable, but useful member of the bullpen for the remainder of the season not in the 9th inning capacity? Pitching the 7th some days. Is that something that you still see as a possible valuable trade out of it?
Look, anything is possible.
Yeah.
I mean, anything is possible on the
Likely.
season. I can see it happening. I don't want to look. K-Rod's a veteran. He's shown that he's had success in this league before. Plenty of success in this league. I think he's one of the leaders in saves among.
He does have the single season records. By the way.
Yeah. So,
But that was back. Also, you got to look at it when he's throwing 95.
no. Again. Granted, if you guys closers who throw in the low 90s, high 80s have been proven not to be very good in the past.
Outside of Trevor Hoffman.
But Trevor Hoffman threw enough pitches to be controlled.
He had the greatest changeup.
The amount of control that guy had too. That's the thing. You can pitch slow like that, but you got to have control.
I think that K-Rod can have a spot on this team. He can have a role on this team. But it's gonna be up to him whether or not it's gonna be
his choice. He needs to perform.
And at this point, he's gonna have to be a mid to low leverage. Mop up guy is the wrong word because he doesn't really have that ability to go long. if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be a mop-up guy, pitching in games that are out of hand in either direction until he regains that command. Guys, his stuff I don't think was any different than it was last year when he was pretty good for, I would say, 5 out of the 6 months. He had a rough April and he finished rough. But, the 5, let's call it 5 months in between, were pretty damn good. The difference between then and now, he has no idea where the fastball's going anymore. He can't paint the corners with that and then get guys to chase the changeup when you're up in the count.
Well, I mean,
and if he gets that back, you know what? He could still, he's still showing the ability to get guys out with this level of stuff.
Well, I think he shows the argument that if you lose your command, you can lose your job in Major League
for
Baseball.
Sure.
You could be a guy that paints the corners and throw 88 miles per hour, and you can still have a job in this league.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny Rogers is a perfect example of that. I'm sure Tigers fans are still very familiar with Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers threw in the high 80s, but the guy was accurate as all hell when he was on the mound.
And he probably had one of the best sliders I've seen for a soft tosser, and especially a southpaw like that.
Sure. And if K-Rod is able to do that, and it should be easier for K-Rod, because when you look at a guy like Kenny Rogers was a starter.
Right.
K-Rod just has to go out,
1 inning, if that.
Yeah, K-Rod has to go out there for one, maybe an inning and a half. Inning and a third. Yeah, there are no halves in
there isn't?
baseball, so unless he pitches.
What if he pitches one batter
Sean, just stop.
and then throws 2 strikes?
Stop before you hurt
okay.
yourself. So K-Rod, yeah, I mean, notice how we haven't talked about Anibal Sanchez. I don't think we need to sit here and debate the merits of rostering an Anibal Sanchez at this point. The dude's given up 33 hits.
But do you think it's worth to pay him to go away now?
Oh, absolutely.
So, okay.
But then again, it's not my money.
Right.
I mean, you're playing him the rest of the 16.8 from this year.
Yeah, you might.
Plus his $5 million buyout. I mean, that's let's call it the remaining prorated portion of 21.
Mm-hmm.
That's or 22 for. Let's just round up to 22. That's a lot of fucking money. And it's not your money.
Right.
And with that being said here, dude's given up 41 base runners and 9 home runs in 18 and 2/3.
Do you think it's time just to set him down and see if
You can't set him down.
He can't.
He doesn't.
No,
he
he can
He's been
refuse
way too
it.
long. And then guess what? He's a free agent. You have to pay him every cent, which is what you're going to have to do anyway.
Well, if he becomes a free agent, isn't it like if he's picked up within like the first...
Oh, yes. If someone's dumb enough to claim him on waivers. Which
but nobody's going to.
I mean, the only time you've really seen that happen, a guy waived with that much money left on a deal, has been it's been twice. It's that last name's Park, played first base and DH'd a little bit with the Twins last year. He got cut with 2 years and like $20 million remaining on a deal and got sent down to the minors because no one took him. Because he had never been outrighted before.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have enough service time. He didn't have a choice but to accept the assignment. But another guy that you can see, remember when Alex Rios was cut by Toronto? He was waived by Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
He had like 3 years and $50 million remaining in his deal, but the White Sox grabbed him. But at the same time, Alex Rios was still a productive player in his prime years. Or semi-productive at the time.
He wasn't making 20-something.
Making more than 10.
Yeah, but still, I'm like...
Which at the time, that was about the equivalent of the 16.8.
A little bit of take it for what it is. It's from Justin Spiro. Justin Spiro has gotten his shit wrong in the past before. I mean, Justin Spiro was the one that said the Tigers were firing Brad Ausmus and that they were going to get like multiple first rounders or something for Vanek, but he said that let's see. Avila has proposed framework of multiple trades to owner Chris Ilitch to address bullpen issues. K-Rod would stay for now, Sanchez gone. Chris Ilitch has rejected the framework of Avila's proposed deals, has no interest in adding to the salary books at this point in the season. And source said the Tigers wanted to hold on to K-Rod for a while longer, but make a salary-adding trade that would boot Anibal. Chris Ilitch balked. And that's a quote from Justin Spiro.
That must mean they have something worked out. Hey, we've agreed in principle to make this happen. I just got to go get this, approved from my owner because we're taking on salary.
And he also says that, I want to make sure I get this right, basically that the locker room, he said, just got off the phone with a very close source with the Tigers. Source said morale is the lowest since 2008. Chris Ilitch is the cause.
Wow.
So, but take it for what it's worth. I mean, he's gotten some stuff right. He's recently gotten some stuff wrong.
Some pretty major stuff wrong.
I don't know what. I don't know if that's true. What do you make of it? Because right now we're dealing with turnover in the bullpen.
Morale, I think. Let's address the morale part first. I think that's a little presumptuous to say that ownership is the reason for low morale. I think your inability to put together a fucking winning streak due to ineffective starting pitching is a reason for low morale. And everybody's falling like flies, and you're finally you're getting back the roster. Essentially, you should have had it opening day at this point, minus Jacoby Jones in center field. Whatever you think about that situation, you have your roster you're supposed to now. Now it's time to start fucking winning. Hey, starting pitchers, how about you pitch into the seventh, please? Michael Fulmer can't do it himself. Matt Boyd's been, Matt Boyd has been better than anything you could have hoped.
Absolutely.
Matt Boyd has been quite good. Hey, Dan Norris, get through the sixth. Hey, Justin Verlander, stop walking fucking 5 guys a game. Jordan Zimmerman, stop throwing beach balls towards home plate.
hey, Jordan Zimmerman, stop sucking in general.
How about you just retire?
51 fucking hits in 38 2/3. And 22 strikeouts.
And
that's it.
And his ERA is is it still 6?
6.28. 3.27 batting average against.
Is he still hurt? Do you think he's still hurt?
He's got nothing left, man.
He's
I don't have an out pitch. And guess what? It's not like he pitches with that much sink or cut where he's getting, soft contact. Everything's hit hard.
Bad news.
Yeah.
Guess what? Hey, Mr. Ilitch. Hi.
Mr. Chris Ilitch.
Mr. Chris Ilitch, I need you to write a check to Jordan Zimmerman for about $77 million. We need him to go away too.
If he's not willing to make Animal go away, then
he ain't making
it.
Zimmerman's not
making Zimmerman go away.
And you know what? I think you can limp with Jordan Zimmerman as your 5.
I think you can too.
You definitely
However, Justin Verlander, get me into the 8th once, please. Dan Norris, stop fucking pitching around. You have ace-level stuff. Throw it over, don't throw it right over the middle. But don't be nipping around so quite as much. You throw 95 left-handed with a fucking dynamite curveball.
Yeah.
You finally started throwing it this past game. Guys didn't know how to hit it.
Yeah.
You should probably keep doing that.
Can we stop with Victor Martinez being the cleanup hitter too?
Oh my God, why is he?
Victor Martinez has been hitting like 370 the last 3 weeks. Right?
I don't care, but he's hitting 370.
What
What power?
Yeah, what
there
is he?
No power. But at the same time, look at the rest of the regulars' batting average.
Okay, JD Martinez comes back.
It's 6th.
Yeah,
it's 2 home runs his second game back, and he's hitting 6th. Still.
Yeah, why is he still in the 6th spot?
Why isn't he hitting 4th?
Yeah,
because
why isn't Justin Upton hitting 4th?
Yeah.
Honestly, all right, let's do this right now.
Why is Nick Castellano still batting 2nd?
Good question. Let's do this right now. So the everyday lineup, pretty much every day, is Kinsler, Castellanos, Cabrera, Vmart.
That hasn't changed.
No, let me finish. Upton, JD, whoever's catching that day, shortstop. Whoever's playing short that day.
Oh, Iglesias.
It's center field, shortstop.
Nothing has changed.
That's fine. What should it really be?
Kinsler.
Let's cut the shit. What should your top? Let's go through the top 6 because 7, 8, 9 is going to be catcher, center field, shortstop. Your combination there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoever that is. Who really should be hitting? Sean, you're 1 through 6. Who are they?
Kinsler.
Okay.
Justin Upton.
All right.
Miguel Cabrera.
Don't disagree.
JD Martinez.
Okay.
And then Victor Martinez.
You're gonna hit Victor.
Oh no, Nick Castellanos and then Victor Martinez.
Can't say I disagree with that. The only thing I might do is switch Upton and JD.
See, I would rather have Upton the way he's been hitting. He's actually been hitting.
I'm going. That's what I was going to say.
I'm
going with Kinsler, JD, Cabrera, Upton,
Castellanos,
Castellanos, then Victor.
I don't know,
That's mine too.
the reason why I have JD and Upton switch was I feel that Upton can run the bases a little bit better than JD.
Yeah.
So I'd rather have somebody in front of Miguel Cabrera who can actually run the bases a little bit better.
It doesn't
Might
matter.
laugh
But
him.
Cabrera's not catching anybody. Anyway.
No, I'm just saying because I would like to say if he is on second, obviously, Miguel Cabrera gets a base hit, Justin Upton has a better chance of scoring from second than JD does.
So I have VMart splits up right here. Last week, he does have a just under 900 OPS.
That's last week.
The last 14 days, just under 900 OPS. Last month, so 28 days, just under 800 OPS, but the batting average is 306 during that stretch as well. And he's actually started drawing some walks.
Okay, great.
That's awesome for me how I feel. But my cleanup hitter needs to be able to hit home runs.
How about just driving runs?
That's too. But
And in the last week, he has not driven in a run either.
So that's
But at
not
the same
not
time-
my cleanup hitter.
But at the same time, he only was relegated to pinch hitting duty for 3 of those days.
Okay, I want him to. That's keeping him in the lineup.
Mhm.
That's not
hitting cleanup.
yeah, exactly. That's not having him continue to hit cleanup. And that's the thing with Brett Ausmus. I mean, a lot of people want to kind of cut him some slack because of the way this bullpen is
V-Mart,
constructed.
by the way, is your highest batting average regular at 270. Is the highest batting average of your everyday players.
Great.
But that's not a cleanup hitter.
That's
That's not okay. If you want to say that, that's a number 2 hitter in my mind. But Victor Martinez,
You're not batting
No,
Victor
that's what I'm
Martinez.
saying. You can't bat Victor Martinez.
Out of every regulars, who has the highest on base percentage? Pop quiz here. Who has the
Who-
highest on base percentage out of Tiger everyday players?
Everyday players.
James McCann is your everyday half of the catching platoon.
I was about to say Alex Avila.
Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah. If it is, I'm gonna
go Upton.
Yeah, I was gonna say Upton
is Justin
Yeah.
Upton.
because he's the only one in my mind that is. What is he?
376.
Is he batting like 271?
259.
Okay, it went down since last time I seen him, but still, he's the only one that's actually been consistent hitting.
Drawing a lot of walks, too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then do you put Justin Upton at second?
He still strikes out too much for me. But at the same time, Castellanos is striking out more, so
Yeah.
the hell. Jeez. Anything else we want to cover with this, guys?
No, I'm good.
No.
All right, like we talked in pre-show, I think we're going to punt on topic 2. We'll
Okay.
kick that down the road for another day. Our final topic on tonight's program here is not necessarily the state of Michigan related, but has something to do with the fine academic institutions that happen to play college athletics in the state. Big Ten Commissioner Jim Delaney just got a $20 million bonus, yet we cannot compensate the athletes. Got a $20 million bonus essentially tied to Big Ten revenue. Essentially, it's doubled since 2010, sports-related revenue. Wow. I don't think you can continue to cry poor. And, this is an amateur athletics. We're not, the pro leagues, minor leagues here. Yet we're going to pay our commissioner a bonus that's similar to essentially the annual salary of the NFL commissioner. But we're poor, we're broke, and we can't afford it.
We're not talking Mark Emmert's salary.
No.
This is
like
The Big Ten
legit. Yeah.
commissioner.
This is the big commissioner of a super conference. Well, not a super conference, but a major conference in
One of the
college sports.
I would say top 4 most prestigious conferences in the country.
Yes, I think it's
Top 3. Let's 3. Let's do.
I think it's top- I think it's
ACC,
top
Big
2.
Ten, Pac-12.
I think it's top 2.
Okay,
Mhm.
there you go.
You
Then the
put-
SEC.
SEC Big Ten.
Okay, there you go. I won't fight you on that.
Well, let's fight about it.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah, come on, fight, brawl. No, I won't argue with you.
Let's have a battle royale.
I think SEC has more athletic success. Big Ten has more academic success.
Okay. Fine.
Okay. But we don't have any money.
They don't. They just gave all it away to the
Yeah, they gave
commissioner.
it-
They just gave it all away now. They have no more money.
And at the same time, I can't fault Jim Delaney here for getting this. It's probably tied to a percentage of revenue gained over a 5-year period. He gets a percentage of that as a bonus.
So why can't you guys buy new equipment? Oh, we gave all of our money to the commissioner.
That's not. case for about new equipment. This is a case for
No.
why are these college athletes still receiving zero compensation for
Because
what they do.
Cardale Jones, although he did go back to play school. We ain't here to play school.
Is he back in school?
He graduated this last week.
Oh, did
You
he?
guys agree?
No.
Oh, well,
back.
good for him.
Yeah, congrats.
Is it kinesiology?
He actually, on his graduation cap or whatever, wrote something like, "I came back to play school" or something like that.
What team is he on?
The Bills.
Is he on the Bills?
He's a backup quarterback of the Bills.
Look, you and I were talking about this earlier, Dorf. There are two sides to this argument, and I understand that. And I would ask the college athlete. I would ask somebody on Michigan's football team. I would ask somebody on Ohio State's football team, or even, Indiana's basketball team. I would say, what do you want? I mean, is something better than nothing? Because when we were going back and forth about this earlier, Dorf, the whole notion of having to pay everybody and what is fair.
My argument isn't that it's necessary to compensate these athletes. I think it is. It's becoming more and more apparent that it needs to be part of essentially the revenue model.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just look at these numbers, especially the live sports deals that these conferences are getting from like ESPN and Fox, you got to throw a bone to some of these players.
Mm-hmm.
My problem with it is just due to the nature of regulation. This is going to be a fucking nightmare because you will never make compensation for athletes. So giving greater compensation to those who actually earn said revenue, cough, cough, football, you'll never make it Title IX compliant.
If you
want to compensate, the revenue sports more, because you know what, they're the ones that they actually earn the fucking money, unlike let's say, crew or women's soccer in most cases who play games in front of 10 people.
Well, some of these teams though are club sports. They're not under.
Oh yeah,
and
that's fine, and that's outside the purview of Title IX. Well, for the purposes of meeting 2 of the 3 categories to be compliant.
And that's why I'd ask these players. I'd be like, look, is something better than nothing? And that's something they'd have to live with. Look, and it's a start too.
So it's a great on paper, but my gripe is the practical application. I don't think you could ever make it where it's fair to everybody. That being every on scholarship athlete from A to Z.
Look,
every institution. It is never going to be to a point where if each school is on their own to compensate their athletes, where it will not be a competitive recruiting advantage to end up at like a University of Michigan, Texas, Alabama, something like that. Because you know what? Those guys have a pile of fucking money left around at the end of the year. They have to spend it on Nick Saban getting a $6 million bonus.
Well, I mean, it's, again, you're
not going to be like the schools up here in the MAC, for example, Eastern Michigan, where you and I went.
Mm-hmm.
They pay what, $20 million or so, $20 or $30 million out of the general budget every year just to keep athletics afloat.
Look, it's never going to be fair. It's never, and you know what? That's life, though. Life,
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
It's never going to be fair in what you do, and this may be a good lesson for them when they get to the pros. That it's never going to be totally fair for you, especially if you're going to be playing in the NFL. You think what you have right now is bad. Imagine having to go and deal with an unguaranteed contract at the next level. But I mean, you add compensation onto the fact that they're going to school for free.
I think that's a win.
Look,
if you want to just add it to the like cost of living stipend or whatever they call it, that cash payout after everything else is paid for to cover anything else. If you want to add it to that, okay.
And how about you lift the restrictions on them getting
work.
A job?
Oh, you can only make $2,000 a summer, dude. Some jobs, like hell, for example, if you want to go dig ditches all summer, you're going to make $2,000 in like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
No one's going to hire you. Oh, I can only work 3 weeks. No one's going to hire you for that. I mean, even at minimum wage, just working at the Subway, for example. Oh, gotcha, like 4.5 weeks. Who's going to hire you for 4? Yeah, I understand it's a summer job. Who's going to hire you for 4.5 weeks? I understand why it's in place. So you don't end up with the, reportedly what went on in Columbus with Maurice Claret, where he worked at a dealership and got paid every 2 weeks despite never showing up. Allegedly.
I don't understand the point of that too.
What?
Just some of these people who are going to sit there and bow down to a fucking college athlete.
They want to keep their athletes happy
You
in
know,
their favorite institution.
I know. And again, we've learned that there's far worse than, and that's what I'm going to say. There's far worse things going on in college sports
and that's essentially
and the United States than
essentially
this.
why you have that like income cap. But for fuck's sake, that's incredibly unrealistic. That number hasn't been adjusted for years.
Mm-hmm.
$2,000 now, doesn't go very far when you essentially have to make it last 10 other months.
You know what I'm not going to do, though, Dorf? I'm not going to sit there and play my violin for some of these players who are well taken care of when it comes to these football teams.
Oh, okay.
And being on these football teams. Like, we got into that argument, what was it, last year or a year and a half ago about Jabril Peppers on how he is saying, oh, how am I expected to live on ramen? Shut the fuck up, dude. You're a player for the University of Michigan.
And you're
going
like
to
one of
school.
the highly recommended like players in, football.
Jim Harbaugh isn't letting you starve.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
First of all, we can tell that you're not starving because you're in shape and
Yeah,
the reason you don't have all that money is because you're, quote, what did that radio host in Cleveland say that got her fired? On the Molly and on the lean or something like that?
I don't
It's
know.
constantly high.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, his leg is bigger than me, probably. So,
and you run really fast too.
But
so.
on that note, though, like I said, I'm not. I do think that these guys deserve compensation.
Well,
Some
yeah,
sort
for
of
sure.
compensation. However, you compile that with free schooling, and I'm sure the under the table shit that some of these football players still get. Look, you got to start somewhere, and I think your somewhere is right there. If you have to share some of the kickbacks with the rowing team or the hockey team who doesn't get, nearly as many players in, or the softball team or the baseball team, look, that's just something that you're going to have to deal with.
Okay. And unfortunately, that sounds all fine and great. I just don't think the regulatory environment will allow that to happen.
What regulatory environment?
Title IX compliance, man.
What if everybody gets a piece of the pie?
Well, what you're saying is if everybody just gets revenue, sports get more than the rest, I don't think that'll ever be allowed to happen. Because it's not fair. Even though you didn't make any of that money, you would still get a piece.
Well, that's again.
Tough titties.
What do you want? Do you want something or do you want nothing?
Yeah. Fair enough. All right, you guys have anything else before we wrap up tonight's show? I know we're kind of a little bit abbreviated here, but honestly, it's a slow sports week. It's the Tigers, and that's it. I mean, we scrapped a Red Wings topic that we could do anytime in the next month, so yeah, we'll save it. So, as we previously mentioned, JD Martinez is back. 2 home runs in, 3 games? Played 3 games?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Couple home runs, couple RBIs. And the Grand Rapids Griffins, the AHL affiliate of the Red Wings, has made it to the Calder Cup semis. Cool.
Dylan Larkin's playing well too in the
Worlds.
in the Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy Howard's won like 5 straight there, hasn't he?
Yeah. I think they beat they beat Slovakia the other day. That's what it was.
We better. No.
I don't know. It's pretty interesting watching that stuff. I always get a kick out of world hockey.
And at the same time, the NHL playoffs are going on, and I couldn't care less.
That's your problem.
I know. Sean, you got anything else?
No.
All right, guys, that is going to wrap up tonight's 137th episode of Motor City Uncut, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. Join us each and every Monday. We swear we mean it this time, even though we've gone like every other week for the last 6 weeks. Right here, live on the air at 7 p.m. Eastern Monday nights. So for Shawn, Adam, I am Dorf. We'll see y'all next time.